Hello and welcome to the third episode of the Hit or Misscast. I'm Clay for Hit or Miss Productions.
You got it wrong.
What?
This is the third episode.
No, what?
Because we tried to record this.
You're right.
Right.
Hello and welcome to the first We're cutting all this.
You'll get there.
Hello and welcome to the third episode of the Hit or Misscast. I'm Clay from Hit or Miss Productions.
I'm Haylie from Hit or Miss Productions.
I'm Ben from Hit or Miss Productions.
And I'm Dylan Baxter from somewhere.
Dylan
Right.
Baxter. He's our favorite editor. He edits all of our films except for some.
Full government name.
Dylan, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm a media professional that's been working in the industry for sort of 5 years, depending on how you count it. I started out mostly editing, and now I mostly do camera stuff and freelance videography.
Heck yeah.
We still make him edit everything.
Okay, so why don't, Ben, you explain what happened with this episode and why we're recording it this way?
Okay, so Dylan and I were up in Chicago a couple weeks ago when this episode was supposed to be recorded, but due to a huge amount of technical difficulties, the main one being not having any batteries, we just had to scrap it. And then we were like, well, we'll just film it on Monday when we get back from Chicago. And then that didn't happen because Clay decided to go to Nashville.
I was already in
Which is where I am.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I guess
And
I
he
could
didn't
have gone
visit
to
me.
Dylan and recorded it with him, but I did not think of that at the
Didn't.
time.
You didn't even think to go say hi to Dylan.
Nope.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Dylan.
And then we were going to film it on Thursday, but Haylie ended up having to go to New York.
Correct.
So now here we are, the very next Thursday, 2 weeks later.
All in Atlanta.
Except for Dylan.
Except for Dylan, who's in Nashville.
And we're finally talking about Caught Stealing and the Blues Brothers.
And
And I'm not rolling drums. We're talking about The Long Walk. Woo!
Woo! Okay. So is there any movie news from the past 3 weeks that anybody wants to bring up, including you, Dylan? Do you have any fun little factoids you want to talk about?
I
I'm putting them on the spot.
don't think I have any.
Okay,
Okay.
wonderful. Even though they said this last Conjuring movie was going to be the last one, they immediately announced a prequel, which I'm so excited for because Clay turned me into a Conjure head. 'Cause
Exactly.
Clay's a big
Conjure
Conjure head.
I'm a big Conjure head. And so we marathoned all the Conjuring movies except for the third ones and all the spin-offs.
Which means we watched less than half of the Conjuring movies.
But not just a prequel movie. They're also making an HBO Max Conjuring series.
When will it end?
So, since Dylan's the guest, Dylan, what's your favorite film in the Conjuring franchise?
I have not seen a single one.
neither have I, Dylan.
So-
Neither have I.
Y'all
so
didn't do
Oh, hell yeah.
I'm not a conjure head myself.
That's such a
The correct answer is actually the last one that just came out. The other one, they all suck like
Oh,
an
really?
equal amount.
You liked the new one?
But like it was the best of the three we watched.
How about you?
I'm a
You feel the same
Conjure
way?
2 fan.
Okay.
But none of them are really good.
All right.
None of them are really good. But Conjuring 2 is looks a little prettier than the other ones.
It's also British.
It's also British.
It's the
which
same
is
as
an
the first,
improvement.
but it's British.
I know. I'm like, wow, these people seem a lot smarter than the other Conjuring victims. Another bit of fun little news is that Superman 2, called Man of Tomorrow, comes out in 2027, only 2 years after the first
It's
one.
not horrible.
So exciting.
So they're
I would have
jump-
said that one if I'd remembered it.
Well, too
You
late,
didn't.
too bad.
It's mine.
Do you have any thoughts about that,
I'm
Dylan?
so excited.
So excited.
Dylan, what do you think it's going to be about as our resident comic book Superman fan?
I just really like the new Superman. I don't keep up with comic book movies at all other than that. I have no idea what it's going to be about. I mean, obviously there will be something with, Supergirl, but...
Maybe.
So
no.
I'm a little read up on this. Currently, the rumor is that this is going to be these are all just rumors, but the Justice League of the current DCU, meaning that the rumors are that it'll be a team up movie about Superman and Lex Luthor, which has already been confirmed. Nicholas Hoult said that they're going to be working together to face a bigger threat. But what's rumored is that part of their team is also going to include Supergirl, Lobo, who is Jason Momoa's character, that's the villain of the Supergirl movie, the Green Lanterns from the Lanterns HBO Max series, and Peacemaker.
Peacemaker. What is
Oh.
Peacemaker gonna do in this situation?
I am caught up on Peacemaker. I love.
Ooh,
I'm
Peacemaker's
so
awesome.
ready for this podcast to end so I can watch the new Peacemaker.
I didn't pay attention to what day it comes out on.
It comes out at 9 p.m. our time on Thursdays,
So it's out now.
shit.
it's out now.
But you can't watch it because you have to wait.
Yeah,
You have to record this.
I mean, now personally, I would much rather see Zack Snyder's Justice League 2, but
I wouldn't.
yeah, me neither.
I wouldn't.
But yeah, so that's fun. And I don't know any other movie news because it's been like 3 weeks and there's a lot's happened.
Too much has happened.
Too
The
much.
Emmys are this weekend.
We can talk a little bit about that next week.
I guess if we have any strong opinions on the Emmys, which I doubt we will.
Mhm.
Probably not.
Oh, another thing that happened is that the trailer for the Super Mario Brothers movie 2 came out.
Really?
It either comes out tomorrow or it doesn't, and it looked really good. Or let me try that again. It looked really bad. So we have options to edit based on if it does happen
Right,
tomorrow
right,
morning
right.
or not.
Right.
Because by Monday that'll be big news.
Awesome.
I'm just thinking ahead.
Maybe.
Okay.
All right. Let's just jump into it.
Jump into
jump
it. Which one are we
into it.
starting first?
We're starting with caught
Caught stealing?
stealing.
Caught
So
stealing.
Haley, tell us about caught stealing. What was it about?
Oh gosh, this was 2.5 weeks ago. All right. So, Austin Butler.
Austin Butler. Round of applause.
Well, somehow Austin Butler's character gets caught into some weird mob boss type thing, and yada yada yada. I don't want to be responsible for explaining this. Someone else take it away.
Okay, so basically what happens is that Austin Butler's sketchy British friend leaves town and asks Austin Butler to watch his cat. Austin Butler does so and then realizes that 3 distinct groups of people really want to find something that is owned by Austin Butler's friend, and he doesn't really know what's going on, and they keep beating him up and killing his friends. So Ben, what were those 3 groups of people?
So there was the police officer woman, the Ukrainian mobsters, and the Hasidic Jewish guys.
That's right.
And it was fun. There was also a cat. His name's Tonic in real life, and he's a gorgeous little guy.
Mm-hmm. So the movie was directed by Darren Aronofsky. I'm a big fan of his, especially The Wrestler.
Known for The Whale.
Known for The Whale, yes. Also, he did Black Swan and Mother and a bunch of other.
The poster's finally topical.
Here.
Should I
Yeah.
turn our camera on for Dylan?
No, because he
Okay.
can't have his camera on and
Okay,
record
cool.
his video at the same time. So yeah. Anyways, Dylan, what did you think of Caught Stealing? Non-spoilers.
Non-spoilers?
No
We're not
spoilers
spoiling it?
yet. We'll talk
No
about
spoilers
spoilers
yet.
later.
Okay. I was very disappointed in it. It was very fun. Like, I enjoyed it, but I just didn't... The story was, like, deeply unsatisfying.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It's like weird balancing it right now because I think it's a good movie, but of Darren Aronofsky's movies, it's probably my least favorite that I've seen. Because it just felt a lot simpler and was not as like well directed or interesting. It was a pretty solid like crime thriller that I don't really think did anything super new or interesting, even though I still enjoyed it a good bit.
I really liked it. I thought it was fun. I thought it was like, I mean, like it was fun, and that was what it was. It reminded me a lot of Honora from last year, which I know like y'all might disagree with me on that because I know Honora did win Best Picture, and this is obviously not going to win Best. I mean, I hope this doesn't win Best Picture, but
It's rude.
I don't think that's rude
Gotta
to
really
say, but I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was fun. I liked it. Austin Butler was really good. I thought Zoe Kravitz was also very good. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was a lot of fun. I liked the aesthetics of it all.
Yes.
It was very visually interesting and fun.
It was very pretty.
It's got that nice grimy 90s New York feel to it, which is always a good look on camera, I feel. And it was just a very solid movie. Not the best of the year, far from the worst.
I love that it immediately tried to establish its 1990 setting by like opening with a shot of the Twin Towers in the New York City skyline, which is
What's funny?
Topical
about
because
topical because
The
we're
year?
recording
It's
this
9/11.
on 9/11.
that? Wow.
never forget.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was set in the 90s until I was reading the reviews afterwards. I felt like it did a terrible job establishing
So
what
you
year it
think
was
the
set
Twin
in.
Towers are still standing? Like today?
I might just be stupid. But
Did you miss the Twin Towers at the beginning, Dylan?
I didn't. I don't think I even registered the Twin Towers. When me and Ben saw this, I had 3 hours of sleep. We had just been on a plane.
Yeah,
and then we had walked around the city for hours.
It's true. We clocked in at about 12 miles that day.
I slept for a couple minutes during the trailers. So for all I know, I may have missed that opening shot.
Most of the trailers. I tried to wake them up before the movie actually started, but I don't know how successful that was.
I watched the whole movie. I did not fall asleep anywhere during the movie, but if the very opening shot was the Twin Towers, I might have missed that.
I think that was the first shot in the movie. Or it's like
the first shot was Austin Butler playing baseball. That is something we didn't mention in talking about. Is he's a baseball player.
Yes,
That's like
he is.
his character.
Yeah, I guess he's like, I'm trying to think of things about the movie that like scream 90s to me. And really it's the Twin Towers shot and the like punk guy's clothes.
Yeah.
But he's the only one in that outfit, so it could just be seen as like a weird, like he just dresses that way, I guess.
I think some of it too was like no one's clothing specifically screamed 90s to me because we've looped around to everyone's kind of dressing that way again.
Yeah.
That is true.
Fair
I mean,
enough.
I did just buy some like grunge jeans that I call the caught stealing jeans, so I guess.
Landline phones are probably also an indication.
Yeah.
It just never even occurred to me, the phone thing, because I think that was what I saw. Was I opened the Letterboxd reviews and somebody mentioned something about them not having smartphones, and I was like, oh wait, they didn't. It just never even registered for me, because so many modern movies will still like not have them use smartphones just because it's a lot easier to write if you don't have smartphones.
Mm-hmm.
Famous writer Dylan, known for all his writing.
Yeah, you know what I mean. There's a lot of
I
movies
can
where it's like, it's
understand.
not like it's set not in the current day. They just like don't ever use their phones.
I can understand why, like, how that could be missed, because I don't even think it was super prevalent in like the trailers or whatever. Except I remember they showed that Twin Tower shot in some of the like trailers.
And they played a song by The Clash, which is famously the 70s.
Yeah, and like that's what I was thinking. There wasn't like that much 90s music, unless I'm just like music illiterate, which is possible.
It's been so long, I honestly don't remember any of the music they used in the movie. You got your phone out. Maybe it'll tell you what's on the soundtrack.
Yeah, I don't remember. I was looking up because I know that. So, Caught Stealing was written by the author of the book that the movie was based on.
I didn't know it was based on a book.
It's based on a book, and it's the first book in a trilogy.
Oh, are they gonna make the other ones?
They haven't said anything about like if Caught Stealing 2 is happening based on oh my gosh, I'm blanking on the director's name Aronofsky's track record. I like doubt that there will be like a sequel just because he doesn't typically do them. Apparently this author of the book also writes Moon Knight comics, so that's interesting. I'm seeing that now. He wrote some TV shows like the Gotham series. I'm trying to see about like the books. Caught Stealing novel. I don't like know what the sequels are about. I can't really see anything about that. But y'all Caught Stealing fans in the audience might, be getting mad at us for not
Drop them
knowing.
in the comments.
Yeah, let us know in the comments. But yeah, so is there anything else that y'all want to say before we jump into spoilers?
I think we can jump into spoilers.
Yeah, sure,
Oh,
sure.
wait, before we get into that, we gotta play our famous little game called Guess What the Budget of Caught Stealing Was.
Oh boy.
So everyone take your guesses. Dylan, start us off. What do you think the budget of Caught Stealing was?
I don't look at movie budgets enough to know, so this is probably very wrong. I'm gonna go 60 million.
Okay. Ben
Sounds like
I
a
would
nice
say
number.
45 million.
and Haylie.
This is Price is Right rules, by the way.
If we're going, I'm gonna go like 48.
All right, so the budget of Caught Stealing was $40 million.
Wow.
I win.
So if we're going by Price is Right rules, you all lose because you were all over.
48 is
I
like
was gonna
the
say
worst
40.
number
I
you
was
could
gonna
pick.
say 40, but I decided to go up.
Rolls
I
on
decided
as
to
the
go
third
up.
person.
But what'd you say, Dylan?
Oh, you should have gone like 44,
Yeah, to really mess with them. But so yeah, Ben, you were closest, I guess. As of this conversation, the movie has only made $25 million.
Yeah.
That sounds about right. Not a lot of people have
Ooh.
talked about it since it came out.
So it's not Darren Aronofsky's biggest box office bomb because didn't Noah do really bad? Oh no, Noah made money, so maybe it is. Who knows?
Who knows? Also, theaters are kind of not doing great right now.
Yeah.
And that's just a fact of life.
I never would have thought that The Whale was going to make double the money of Caught Stealing, but it has.
But also,
so.
did anything else come out that weekend?
Not really.
No.
This is just like an R-rated movie, like that has like talented actors, but like I don't think like Austin Butler is like a movie that's going to get like an actor that's going to get general audiences like.
Unless people love Elvis.
He's not a big draw just yet, but I think he will get there eventually.
And me and Ben, I know we were big Bike Riders fans.
Oh
of
yeah,
of
Bike Riders was fantastic.
Big Bike Riders fans.
Probably his best role.
Oh yeah.
By a long shot. I never watched Elvis, but.
He was good.
He was good, yeah.
He was the best. Elvis was bad because of Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks was really bad in Elvis. He was awful.
Elvis wasn't bad. It was
As
just
a big Elvis
corny.
fan, I'm like a huge Elvis fan. I liked the editing of it, but Tom Hanks's Colonel Tom Parker for some reason has like a German accent, which is not. He just has a Southern accent in real life. And I'm like, I don't know why they did that. And he like kind of like kills the movie because Tom Hanks is so bad.
Well, that movie's all about doing crazy accents.
You're right.
From what I know.
Because Austin Butler did get possessed by the spirit of Elvis.
He
And I
did.
can hear it a little bit here.
Yeah,
I think that he is farther, like you can tell that he's gotten better.
Yeah,
I think
since his days in Hannah
since his
Montana.
days. What?
He was in
Hannah Montana, yeah.
Wow. The more you know.
Well, I guess I just outed myself. As a Hannah Montana watcher. But yeah, so that's
He's
Austin
really
Butler.
good in Dune Part 2. Love him in Dune Part 2.
Mm-hmm.
Minor role, but good.
You don't want to dive into spoilers?
Let's just jump into
Let's
it.
just jump into it. Anyone
do it.
want to? Anybody? I don't remember the story that much, low key. Anybody got really any big spoiler thoughts?
I'll start, I guess. So, Zoe Kravitz's death was very out of left field.
Yes.
Mhm.
And I kind of thought
Yeah.
it was going to be a fake out at first, but she did, in fact, stay
Yeah.
dead the entire movie. Same with the British guy. He has a name in real life. It's Matt something.
Morbius.
It's Morbius, villain. Doctor Who. He also died, and his death didn't make a lot of sense, because I don't know if people regularly die after being hit in the head with a baseball bat, but 3 hours later. You know what I mean?
I think he might have had like internal bleeding or something. Would be my guess.
So-
Maybe.
Going off his Austin Butler's girlfriend's death, Zoe Kravitz's death. Sorry.
She has a
Put
name.
respect on her
The
name.
big.
From
I'm
Di-
sorry.
You mean Christina from Divergent?
Oh, okay. Catwoman. So the beat that really didn't work for me was the whole like gun cigarette lighter beat, where the two like Hasidic Jewish villains pull out her lighter. I just like didn't think that really worked well, because it's like it felt like they only did that because the movie had set that lighter up as important, to where it would have just been one of many things in her apartment that they could have grabbed to like show Austin Butler. And it's like they knew that they killed his girlfriend, so they could have just said that, but it felt like a moment that was written because it was in a movie and they wanted a big reveal so the audience could go whereas in universe of the story it didn't make a difference.
Because for all they know, he's never seen that lighter ever.
It's true.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah. No, I'm agreeing. Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about it like that, but.
And I didn't like it even more at first when I thought it was like just a coincidence that they had it. And when it was later revealed that they like knew what they were doing and they knew they killed his girl. So like I thought when they pulled it out, it was a deal of like, oh, they didn't know that they killed Austin Butler's girlfriend. And that was how he was going to find that out. And then later they revealed...
That's how I read it too, yeah.
Yeah, but later they were like, oh, we do know that was your girlfriend.
Yeah.
And so it still wasn't great, but it was a little better than I initially thought it was.
It was just them trying to be assholes.
Yeah, but it was just like they could have... I don't know why they would have been led to pick that lighter over anything else in her apartment, except for the fact that the movie had several shots of that lighter.
It's an awesome lighter.
Okay.
Because
It
it's
is
sick.
a pretty cool lighter.
I don't know. Because he needed a light. That was what he said. And he said, sorry, man, I needed a light. And that was what was there. That was what he said. So.
But yeah, I remember that a cat gets really injured in this film.
That was sad.
It's true. They abused
That was
poor
sad.
Tonic.
I didn't like that.
But Tonic is such a good actor.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm sure he was a
Is
good
that the
sport
cat's
about
name?
it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Tonic.
Tonic.
Classic Tonic.
Classic Tonic.
But yeah, so that was fun. I'm trying to think of like there was a weird thing that I had, I remember, with the whole like end of the I don't drive cars thing. I thought that the setup or the I really liked the story beat of why he had to drive the car at the end. Because like they could not drive on that day, the Hasidic Jewish characters. But there was, I'm trying to remember what it was. There was something that didn't quite work for me with like Austin Butler's decision to drive.
So the reason he doesn't drive cars is because like he killed his best friend back in high school in like a drunk driving incident. And that's like the injury that like messed up his knee and why he doesn't play baseball anymore. And so he's like, I don't drive cars anymore. But he was basically forced at gunpoint to drive the car. But I don't know.
Imagine how awful it would be if he lived until 2006 and was a big Pixar fan. Then he'd be in real trouble.
Oh yeah, he'd have a really hard time enjoying the classics.
We should have paired this movie up with the Cars trilogy.
With Cars.
Not the whole trilogy.
Yeah, the whole trilogy.
It's too much Cars.
Just Cars 2 then, the best one.
True.
The Mater movie.
The Mater movie.
I've never seen Cars 3. Is it good?
It's my favorite of the Cars trilogy.
What?
Really?
Yeah.
Cars 3?
I don't really like Cars 1 that much.
I like Cars 1.
I'm not a fan.
All right.
But anyways, this is a caught stealing review, not an Elvis or Cars review.
Well,
we're just kind of not having much to say about caught stealing. Dylan, do you have any specific thoughts about caught stealing that we haven't touched on?
I don't know. I'm like deeply disappointed in it because, but in like a, you know, I wanted more from it way. Like it gave me a bunch of characters that I really liked, and it was really fun. But then like, just the way the plot unfolded, like Act 1 was really good, and that made me like the characters. And then after that, just like everything didn't make any sense. It didn't feel. I'm struggling to put it into words, but I think you know what I'm sort of getting at. Like it just, everything felt convenient, and like you said, because it was a movie. Like it didn't. None of the inciting incidents made any sense.
Yeah, and I would agree that for like the first half of the movie, it felt like Austin Butler's character was very like reactive and didn't really have a goal, and just things kept kind of happening to him, which I feel like it picked up in the second half when he's like, oh, okay, I've got this key now, let me like con these people. But I was more into the second half than I was the first half, because that first half just kind of felt like things were happening, but they weren't really connected, which like is kind of the point, because he's confused, but I don't think it played very well. Or played as well as the
and that could have worked, but they didn't have like, it didn't feel like there was a satisfying payoff for all that confusion.
Well, overall, I would definitely say that the issues with it was definitely the writing. I would say like would be my main issue with it. I think that the acting was really good. I thought it looked nice. I mean, like, the aesthetics were good, as Ben mentioned. I thought that, I mean, like, production design and everything was nice. I
thought it was funny.
That was funny.
That was my favorite part of the writing, was I laughed.
I genuinely felt the exact same, like not the exact same, but I feel very similar to this as I felt Anora. And I was not a fan of Anora winning Best Picture, which I don't know how anyone else felt about that.
I loved Anora.
I also liked Anora, but, like, I did not think that Anora deserved to win Best Picture. But I do feel similar thoughts about this movie and that. In the way that, like, I kind of wanted more from it, and, like, it was good, and it was like, I don't know. Yeah.
I like that his mom is Laura Dern.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a cool little payoff.
That was great. Go Giants.
Go Giants.
But yeah.
I mean, go Yankees.
No.
But yeah, so any other thoughts? We want to give our ratings.
I think we can give our ratings. I don't even remember my rating.
I got mine. I think if my letterbox says different, it's wrong. Ben, you want to start us off?
I'm not as critical on the plot as you guys, just because I enjoyed it, and I thought the performances and visuals were enough to. You didn't post it.
No, he didn't even post it.
You didn't even log it.
He didn't even log it.
But I gave it, I believe, on Letterboxd an 8 out of 10, and I'll stand by that.
I gave it a 7 out of 10. I mean, I liked it. I thought it was good. I enjoyed it. That's kind of, 7 is usually my, like, I liked it line, so.
Yeah.
My middle ground, yeah.
I'm also going to give Caught Stealing a, 7 out of 10, but it's, a low 7, because, I enjoyed it a lot, even though I'm critical of the story. I feel like the elements surrounding the story were stronger, and I enjoyed it, and it went by pretty quick, even if there were a good bit of issues.
I didn't know you were going the Fantano route with your ratings.
I think Yeah, I think I review things harsher than you guys, like,
You
because I give it a
definitely
5
did.
out of 10,
5 out of 10.
and I like initially after watching it, I gave it a 5 out of 10, but after marinating on it for 2 weeks, I feel like I want to lower it to a 4 out of 10.
Wow.
But, like, not because I hated it, it was just meh, you know.
Dylan coming in hot and giving pot stealing lower than any of us gave you by 2. This, I think, is the lowest rating that's been given on the podcast yet.
Wow.
Congrats, Dylan.
Congrats, Dylan. Dylan's coming in strong.
We bring on a guest and he's immediately a negative Nancy.
Well, let's talk about something that Dylan probably likes a good bit more, and that is the Blues Brothers.
The Blues Brothers.
All right, Dylan, tell us what
He
the
gets
Blues
cut out.
Brothers is about.
Oh. The Blues Brothers. Oh my god. So two brothers. They're in a band. They go to jail for a couple of years. One of them goes to jail for a couple of years. The band breaks up. He gets out of jail. He's like, we got to get the band back together.
Yeah.
I'm bad at summarizing movies. This is going to take way too long.
Clay, you take it away.
They get the band together.
Okay, never mind.
I trust
They,
him.
yeah, you take over, Clay. I like it.
Okay. So this movie has one of my favorite plots ever, which is we have to raise money to save the orphanage. And so that is why they have to get the band back together.
They're on a mission from God.
They're on a mission from God.
Yes.
So the Blues Brothers started out as a Saturday Night Live sketch with Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi, and they were like a band, like they just were a musical act on Saturday Night Live. And Dan Aykroyd is famously a crazy person, so one day he
Yes.
wrote like a manifesto of here is the backstory of our Blues Brothers characters. That manifesto was summed up in one of the albums that were released by the Blues Brothers, and then they said, why don't we just make a movie about it? So they make this 2.5 hour epic that it was the most expensive comedy movie of all time at the time of its release in 1980. It was directed by John Landis, who went on to do movies like Coming to America and An American Werewolf in London. I love John Landis, even though he... But he makes good movies.
Okay.
And so the Blues
Like a
Brothers
helicopter.
was with the helicopter. The Blues Brothers was an insane movie with an insane production that took way too long because Dan Aykroyd took 6 months to write it, and John Belushi kept not coming to set because of drugs.
They did a lot of cocaine.
They did a lot of
They
cocaine.
did so much cocaine.
It had the most car crashes of any movie ever at the time.
And it was beaten by the sequel, correct?
It was beaten by the sequel.
Yeah.
It had a ballooning budget because everyone was crazy. They dropped a car out of a helicopter. It was an insane movie. So, what did everyone think of the Blues Brothers? And also, was this your first time seeing it?
This was my first time watching the Blues Brothers. I've, of course, been culturally aware of the Blues Brothers just because of the insane production behind it. I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. There are so many cameos that you're just like, what are you even doing here? The music is wonderful. It's such a fun watch. You get lost in it even though it's nearly 3 hours long, and it's just so over the top and ridiculous and awesome.
Yeah, it was also my first time watching it, and I am not culturally... I had never heard of this before. I had no idea what this was. When they said we were watching the Blues Brothers, I was like, we were watching what? I did not know what
She
this
didn't
was.
even know it was a musical.
No, I had no idea what was going on. I saw almost 3 hours, and I said, what is going on? But I loved it. I thought it was really great. I would watch it again. Great recommendation, Dylan.
Yeah, so I suggest it was obviously wasn't my first time watching it.
Yeah.
Because I suggested it because it was my dad's favorite movie, so I've seen it over 100 times, but I don't think I've watched it since I was 12. So I was like, when Ben asked me what movie we should watch, I had just rewatched it 2 days before he asked me because I remembered it randomly, and I was like, oh, I gotta go back and watch this and see if it holds up at all. And then I was shocked. I was like, oh my! I saw it was 3 hours. I was like, I don't remember it being 3 hours. That feels so long. And then it did not feel like 3 hours.
Yeah, I had seen it. This is, I think, my third time watching it all the way through. I love this movie. I love John Landis. I love Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi. These old it came out in 1980, but it's like a 70s comedy. because it was supposed to come out in the 70s. I just like love it. I love like all of the musicians that are in it, especially Aretha Franklin, Ray Charles, and James Brown, which is the 3 big ones. So it's like a love letter to like jazz and blues music, obviously blues. My first cultural awareness of the Blues Brothers came from the Drake and Josh episode, where Drake and Josh dress up as the Blues Brothers and sing Soul Man.
They do that.
Yeah.
I forgot
Is that the same
about
episode
that.
where they stalk Megan at a movie theater?
No, they're just dressed as Jews at that episode.
Well, that's
So they
crazy.
look similar.
That's crazy because I've seen that, but I never knew what that was from. I was just...
And
I don't
they
know.
make jokes about the Blues Brothers looking like Hasidic Jews in this movie. I'm not being anti-Semitic.
Okay. Alright.
But yeah, so that was like my first awareness of them. And when I watched the Blues Brothers like 5 or 6 years ago for the first time, I was like, oh my gosh, that's what that
It's
was.
Drake and Josh.
But yeah, so I love this movie a lot. It's definitely the best Saturday Night Live movie, even though I really like Wayne's World.
By a long shot. Wayne's World is great, but this movie clears
Yes.
the entire rest of the Saturday Night Live catalog.
This movie it's so interesting to me. And I think what's so compelling about it is that it's so weird that with every moment you're like, what led these writers to make this decision?
And the answer is cocaine.
Yeah, basically.
If you have
Yeah.
any question about this movie, it can be answered by the fact that Dan Aykroyd was high as balls the entire time.
Like, very little connects, like, throughout the movie. It's just kind of things happening, but they're all so funny. That like they do this. You cut at one point and you're at a Nazi rally to the Illinois Nazis,
Classic Illinois Nazis.
the classic Illinois Nazis, and
Which was like based on true events, apparently.
oh really?
That's wild. I
Yeah. There was like a big like Illinois Nazi movement in like the 70s or something.
That's
Huh.
crazy.
I did not know that. So Blues Brothers is like a period piece historical biopic.
It's
Yeah.
true. It's kind of like Caught Stealing. in that
Basically.
there's 3 different groups of people going after the Blues Brothers.
Guys, this was a great comparison, Dylan.
See, I didn't
Wow.
even realize it took place in the 80s. I thought it took place in modern day. I missed the shot of the Twin Towers.
Well, Chicago doesn't have the Twin Towers.
Oh, that's why I was confused.
They have the Bean.
I said there's no Twin Towers. 9/11 must have happened, so we're in the present day. But yeah, they get chased down by the Good Old Boys, a crazy country band, the police, the Nazis, the military at the end of the movie.
Military. John Candy's there for some reason. What's happening?
So what just happened?
Our audio device disconnected.
Did Maya just put in AirPods or something?
Ooh.
Okay, we can still
Dylan,
hear
can
you,
you
Dylan.
hear
Don't
us?
switch.
So we're
Oh,
fine.
okay.
Okay, perfect.
But yeah, I love this movie. I think it's shot incredibly well. It's really funny. It's like well acted, very well acted. Like everyone in it is giving. Oh yeah, Carrie Fisher's another. She's in this.
She
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
even have a name, and she just like starts shooting at the Blues
Yeah.
Brothers every time she's on screen.
The first time she shows up, she pulls up in her car and then pulls out a rocket launcher and like shoots at the Blues Brothers.
and
car.
then they just dust it off like nothing happened. It's
That rocket launcher shot is incredible.
But yeah, this has just like so much talent in it. Like the car chases are incredible, especially like if you watch other movies that came out in the 70s, car chases are like really boring. Like there's like Bullet and like some other like popular movies.
maybe like Mad Max.
Yeah, but like
But even the first
these-
Mad Max was kind of on the car
These are
chases.
so complex, and you like see them like driving a car through a mall, and extras like jumping out of the way of like the police cars and stuff.
Which is, I have so many questions about how they filmed that.
Yeah.
Did they just actually drive in a mall? Did they build a mall? I want to know so bad.
Yeah, like this is so much more impressive to me than like Smokey and the Bandit or like any other famous like car movies from around that same time. I'm just like it blows me away because it's like, oh, this probably like cost so much just to have this one shot,
Yeah,
and they have like 40 of these shots.
They're jumping drawbridges.
Yeah.
They're dropping the car from a helicopter, which Haylie thought was a miniature, which is how insane it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I literally asked. I was like, is this like a prop? And Ben was like, no, they
Yeah.
actually dropped a car. And I was
There's,
like, what?
there's like what feels like a 3-minute sequence of police cars just like jumping
Piling
over
up.
this hill and piling up, and it just keeps going.
Keeps
And it's
going.
like, what is happening?
It's awesome.
It was like one of the jokes where like it's like you go past a point where like this isn't funny anymore, and then you go past the point again where like, this is
it
funny
loops back
again.
around.
It's like the South Park rule of 8s.
Yeah.
It just keeps happening enough that it's even funnier.
Do y'all have a favorite musical number from this film?
I watched this so long ago. I don't remember.
It's gotta be Rawhide.
Yeah, Rawhide.
Rabbit was awesome.
That's what I was gonna say. And then close second is like in the music store.
Oh, the music store is also really good.
Yeah.
Aretha Franklin's performance, amazing.
Well, that's the one in the diner. The music store is the Ray Charles one.
I was saying both of those.
Oh, both of them. Yeah, my favorite is the James Brown, the old landmark in the church where everybody's like flipping around and they're like jumping on the trampolines, and that's I think the
first. You're on the balcony and people are just coming up doing flips.
It's the first.
That's the first musical number in the movie, because up until that point the movie's played pretty straight. Like the nun is kind of weird. The penguin
kind of weird. She floats and
but it's like that's the old landmark scene is the point where I feel like the movie erupts into craziness, and that's like the inciting incident, because that's where he gets the message from God of like the band.
And then he does a bunch of somersaults, and you're like, okay, we're in for a treat.
Yeah.
The band.
This movie is just like so. Also we're in spoilers because this is a like 50-year-old movie.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it yet, what's wrong
Fix
with you?
that.
And these spoilers don't even matter. You could still go. You're just gonna be confused, and then you're gonna go watch it.
We can explain every bit to a T, and you're still not gonna understand.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So most of the movie is them getting the band together. So they like have to go to a restaurant and get the maitre d' to rejoin the band. They have to go to a hotel and get like the hotel band or bar band. It's like the
best episode of Phineas and Ferb.
Basically, yeah. Like this, and it's like the Muppet. Like this movie, it feels like I can't think of movies before this that were like the whole movie's let's get the band back together. But there have been so many movies since then, like the Muppets and like that Phineas and Ferb episode.
The Muppets was around the same time.
No, the 2010 Muppets movie, where it's like, let's go around and get all the Muppets back together.
Because the first Muppets was in the 70s, but it was like, let's start the band.
Yeah.
It wasn't getting anything together.
Like, most of the movie is that they get to they have their big show where they say, everybody needs somebody to love, and then they get to this insane final sequence that is like a kind of car chase into like an assault on a building. Which building is it?
It is the county tax building in Chicago, Illinois. Dylan and I actually went there. We took a picture.
We did.
We'll put it on the screen now. It is a wonderful landmark. The building was closed because it was Labor Day weekend, but it is open to the public. And had we gone earlier, we probably could have gone inside. But
interesting.
It's a nice building.
It is the actual like Chicago County tax assessment building.
It's true, and there's a statue.
It was not just like
Picasso
a prop,
outside.
you know.
So yeah, it seems like they filmed a lot of this on location, like in Chicago, because there's just like a lot of scenes where it's like, oh, that's like a landmark in the background.
Yeah, the bean was not there.
The bean was not there.
Doesn't make sense.
I think this might have been pre-bean.
Yeah. Yeah, when did y'all like just went to Chicago? When was the bean like implanted?
So fun fact, the bean doesn't have any signage. It's not even called the bean.
It's just there.
Producer Jordan looked that up.
It is just there.
Well,
it's actually
the bean was
Cloud
constructed in 2004, so.
Oh, okay.
So that makes sense.
So it was 24 years post Blues Brothers.
Years post 9/11.
That's right. Oh.
So that's why.
So that's how I was supposed to know it was in the 80s, was because the bean wasn't there. That makes sense.
It's all coming together.
It's all coming together. But yeah, so they go into the tax building. Literally every like soldier and police officer and police car in the world is there. They have tanks. But they get up there and successfully pay to keep the orphanage. And does anybody know who that was that they gave the money to?
I do. It's Steven Spielberg.
That's right.
Director of Jaws.
Is it? Yes, Steven Spielberg has a cameo in this movie as the employee at the tax building. That's him.
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
So I didn't clock that the previous times I had seen it, but when I watched it this time, I was like, that's Steven Spielberg. And I looked it up and I was like, for sure.
Which just makes the movie even more insane, if you think about it.
Everyone wanted a part of it.
What I read, and I didn't fact check this, so I could be wrong, is that apparently Dan Aykroyd has a cameo in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
I feel like I would have noticed that.
I feel like it would have too. That's what I kept seeing.
I watch those movies kind of frequently.
But so he did that, and they repaid the favor by having Steven Spielberg appear in the Blues Brothers, or maybe it was the opposite, because Temple of Doom came out after the Blues Brothers. It was something like that.
That is true.
Or I'm making this all up, and the internet lied to me. But yeah, that's Steven Spielberg.
No one on the internet has ever lied before.
You're right. But so yeah. Any other immediate thoughts about the Blues Brothers?
We gotta play Guess the Budget.
Should we play Guess the Budget?
Hold on, what was Dylan about to say?
Something you said reminded me. I take it all back. My favorite musical number was actually Minnie the Moocher. I forgot about that one, but that's my favorite easily. Rawhide.
They turn around and they're randomly in suits and like in a classic like jazz ensemble look.
Yeah.
And that's one that's kind of like teased throughout the movie because like Cab Calloway is like the first musician who shows up, but like he doesn't perform until that big musical sequence at the end because he's the one that plays the janitor at the orphanage that taught the Blues Brothers like blues music. So people who recognize him like know, he's probably gonna have a musical number at some point, but it happens at the very end of the movie, or not the very end, but like the
towards
final
the end. It's a good payoff.
Yeah. Because I like forgot how lengthy that the final sequence of the movie was. Because they get to like the big show that they've been talking up at the Liberty Ballroom like throughout the whole movie, and that's like an hour and 45 minutes into the movie, and I'm like, there's still like 30 to 45 minutes left. What else is there? Oh, I forgot there's this like incredibly long like chase sequence,
and of course Carrie Fisher confronts them in the sewers.
That's right. Yeah, that happens.
That part's a little long, yeah.
But yeah, so let's play Guess the Budget of the Blues Brothers. This is the 1980 budget. So
who's going first on this one? Haylie, you want to guess the budget?
$1
$1 million.
$1 million? Wow.
I don't think so.
Okay, in what year?
1980 is when this movie was
1980
released.
I don't, bro. I'll go with like 50.
50.
Yeah.
Ben?
I'm going to say $20 million.
20 million. Dylan?
I know I've definitely been told the budget before, and I
I'm
cannot
overshooting.
remember it. So I'm gonna go like 100 million and be wrong.
100 million. No. The answer is 27.5 million.
I win.
Okay, yeah.
See, I overshot, but I knew that it was pretty dang high. How
I
much
I was
is
like,
that
I know
now?
it's not 100 million
For
because it's
today's
1980,
money,
but I don't know
that's
what it is.
A lot.
In today's money, that would be worth $105 million.
Wow.
So
Hey,
that's
I'm kind of good at this.
spot on.
In current year money.
Because Dylan translates the movies he sees into the modern day,
Right.
like he did with caught stealing. So
Yes,
like,
yes.
he was basically
Yes.
correct.
Even though the bean wasn't in this movie.
He has
It's okay.
decade blindness. But yeah, so
Dylan, what year is it now?
Well, it's 2025, of course.
Are you sure?
That's
everything
a year,
is
not a
2025.
decade.
What decade are we in?
Oh.
So the
Got a
movie,
chance for a really funny bit.
so the movie cost $27.5 million and it made $115.2 million at the box office.
Wow.
Wow.
So it was a success. It was not as big of a success as Universal hoped, but it went on to become a cult classic. It's like super well known today. It's the most well known SNL movie. And Universal Studios fans know that the Blues Brothers is all over Universal Studios in Florida, at least. They have like a live show that's really good,
It's true,
and
I've
they
seen
play the Peter Gunn theme constantly when you walk through like the city area of the park.
I actually played that in jazz band when I was in school.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I know it's been in a bunch of other stuff, including like some TV show called Peter Gunn or that Peter Gunn composed or something.
Something like that.
But I know it as the Blues Brothers theme. And The
It is
Sopranos
Blues Brothers.
has a really good episode that is scored by a mashup of the Blues Brothers theme and Every Breath You Take. And it's like the best episode in the show. So watch The Sopranos, folks. This is probably not going to be my first time talking about The Sopranos. But yeah, the Blues Brothers.
The Blues Brothers.
Are we ready to give our ratings?
Let's give our final thoughts.
Yeah.
Clay, you go first.
Oh, okay, I'll go first. I love the Blues Brothers. There's just like a few parts where I'm like, this is a little slow. But overall, like, it is really, really good. I'm giving the Blues Brothers a 9 out of 10.
Wow.
Wow.
I gave it an 8 out of 10. I really liked it. I made me laugh a lot. Again, I'm not as attached to the guys in SNL and whatnot, but I really enjoyed it.
I give the Blues Brothers a 10 out of 10. It is a perfect comedy experience. If you want to laugh, watch that movie. You'll have a ball.
Dylan?
I cannot give an unbiased opinion of this movie. It is just very important to me. So it's like a 12 out of 15 out of 10, something like that.
12 out of 15 out of 10.
Wow.
Someone do the math on that.
Yeah, what's that translate to?
What
Like a
is
9
that?
and
It's a perfect movie.
It's more than
That's an 8 out of 10, folks.
That's a 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10 from Dylan. One other thing I forgot to mention is, did y'all watch the theatrical cut or the extended cut?
We watched whatever was on, was it Netflix?
Yeah.
Okay,
Whatever
I
we
watched
have
the
on Netflix.
Blu-ray, which has both. So the extended...
You tell me there's another cut? I don't know if
Yes.
I've ever seen this.
There's an extended cut that's like 13 minutes longer. It's just more jokes. It's scenes that Dan Aykroyd wanted, but John Landis didn't. So there's like an explanation. There's like a part where their car like runs out of gas, and they don't really explain like how they get more gas. There's just like a bit or something. There's a added scene that like shows that they go to some like place that uses electricity to charge up the car, I think. And then there's a scene early in the film that shows the Blues Brothers without glasses, and so they decided to cut that scene so that the first time you see them without glasses is in the tunnel with Carrie Fisher.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's just like more jokes and stuff. It's nothing essential.
I don't think they should ever take their glasses off.
Yeah,
It's an important part of their character.
yeah. But so that was the Blues Brothers.
Alrighty.
So it's the Blues
Well,
Brothers.
we do still have one more movie to talk about today, but Dylan did not see that movie with us.
Yeah, he
so
didn't come
He
prepared.
did not come prepared,
Sorry,
so...
Dylan.
You had 3 weeks to see The Long Walk, Dylan. Come
Even
on.
though it just came out today.
But Dylan,
I was at work
Thank
2
you
hours or like 3
so
hours
much
ago.
for being our guest, Dylan.
yes. Do you have any last words or anything you want to shout out?
No, not really. This was great. Thank you guys.
Of course.
Dylan.
Shout out to Bean.
It's been a pleasure, Dylan. I'm sure we'll have more films for you to edit soon.
Oh, for sure.
I hope so.
As
All right.
soon as you're
Alright.
in this area.
Bye.
Get ready to work.
Goodbye, Dylan.
Bye.
Bye.
Now that he's gone, I'm just...
Whoa.
Let's talk
That's
about
just-
the third film and the most timely film because we saw it like 2 hours ago, The Long Walk.
The Long Walk.
So Ben, tell us about what The Long Walk is about.
Okay, based on a short story by Stephen King in the not so distant future where America is evil, which would never happen. 50 young men from every state are selected to just keep walking until there's one man standing for one wish and a prize of an unspecified amount of money.
Yeah. So Ben was wrong. It's not a short story.
Is
it's
it
a
not?
novel. And
I thought
so,
it was one of his short stories.
No. So
he has so
interesting.
many books, it's hard to tell.
Yeah. So Carrie was the first Stephen King book that was published, and it was published in the 70s, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
But the first Stephen King book that he wrote was The Long Walk.
Wow.
He started writing it his freshman year of college in like 1966, I think. So it was his first book that he ever wrote, and it just didn't come out till a good bit later. He's old. Stephen King, I'm sorry. Please come on the podcast. I did not mean to call
We
you
love you,
old.
Stephen
You're
King.
a great guy.
It Part 2 was lame, but the other two It movies were fun.
Yeah, your version of The Shining is so much better than the Stephen King version, or the Stanley Kubrick version of The Shining.
Well.
Your 4.5-hour TV version. But yeah, so The Long Walk. What do y'all think of The Long Walk?
The Long Walk was excellent. From like the very beginning, you could just feel the tension. In very few movies I go into, and there's just like this immediate sense of dread.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as they started walking, I was like, "Oh, this is happening, isn't it?"
Mm-hmm.
Like we just met all these characters. They all seem like. The thing about Stephen King's books is he's very good with characters. He writes very good characters, and establishing that in a movie can be kind of hard. But I think they did a really good job because you're immediately connected to like these first 4 guys, and then you're like, well, only one of them's gonna make it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you get that sinking gut feeling as soon as it starts, which is a feeling I love to have watching movies.
Yeah. I really liked it. I was a little bit not too like, I was a little bit worried I wasn't going to like this. I am a big fan of dystopias. Like that is kind of my thing. Like
Number one Divergent.
I don't want to say this, but I love. So I was that kid.
How
when I
many
was,
copies of Divergent do you have on DVD?
3.
Wow.
Anyways, I was a little bit worried I wasn't gonna like it, only because I don't know, just it didn't really appeal to me, the thought of it. The thought of just like looking at these guys walking for an hour and 40 minutes was a little bit like, I was a little bit scared that it wasn't going to work, but it definitely did work. I really liked it, and I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I was also really into it. I really liked that you just jumped like right into it, Philip DeFranco style, because like the movie starts off with the letter that the main character gets, and then you just see him like driving to get dropped off at the Long Walk. And like there's some like dialogue between them before it actually starts, but it feels like within 10 minutes they're walking and they don't stop walking until the movie's over. So you can get into it. It's like it flew by and felt very fast paced, even though it's mostly just characters walking and talking.
Yeah.
It had one of my favorite title cards I've seen in a while.
I was going to say, the title card drop was phenomenal.
Yes.
It was wonderful. We'll talk about it in spoilers,
yeah.
I guess.
But I loved that. I thought all of the performances were great. Cooper Hoffman I love because his father is my favorite actor of all time, Philip Seymour Hoffman. And I thought the whole cast was great. Did y'all have any standouts? Or
David Johnson.
David Johnson.
I think he is
amazing.
phenomenal. I have been on the David Johnson train since Alien Romulus.
He was the best part of that.
He was the best part of Alien Romulus. I think he is phenomenal. I think he's going to be a star, and I cannot wait to see what he does in the future.
He was absolutely the heart and soul in this movie.
Yes, he was my favorite.
It is hard to deny that, like Philip Seymour Hoffman, Cooper is just like an absolute powerhouse. Like he is an incredible actor as well. Like this was kind of a loaded cast, even though it's people you probably have never heard of before, or maybe you've seen in like one or two movies, but they were all like phenomenal. Like Mark Hamill, obviously, like the big star, probably the biggest selling point of this. But even then, he has kind of a minor role, even as what I would consider the main antagonist of the plot.
Yeah, he's not in it a whole lot. He's always present because he's like riding along with the walkers, but it mostly focuses on like the relationship between the different walkers. I would say the fourth like big name in the movie, the notable one is Ben Wang, who recently starred in Karate Kid Legends.
There's a movie that came out and exists.
Yes, it's not good, but he's in it.
Seen it.
He's also in that Disney Plus show, American Born Chinese, and I feel like there was something else. Oh, he's going to be in the new Hunger Games movie.
Really?
The Hunger Games Sunrise of the Reaping, which will be, I believe, hold on, let me fact check this. Directed by Francis Lawrence, who directed The Long Walk.
All
So
right.
that's probably going to be a banger as well.
Yeah, so Francis Lawrence is most famous for directing the Hunger Games movies, which I think are pretty hit or miss, like our channel.
Yeah.
And I think that is mostly a writing problem, in that his directing was really solid in all of them. I really like Catching Fire.
Yeah, there are two
Catching
really
Fire.
good Hunger Games movies, and then there's 3 okay Hunger Games movies.
Yeah, and he didn't direct the first Hunger Games, but I believe he did Catching Fire like on.
Which is...
Did he do the new one?
Yes, he did the
Ballad of
prequel.
Songbirds?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that one was a lot of fun.
Yes, I really enjoyed that one.
It was definitely better than the Mockingjays.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
So that's why I've always thought his directing was good, and that like he just needed to be paired with a good writer, which is why I was excited for this, because this is written by J.T. Molnar, who wrote and directed Strange Darling, which we all really liked.
If you have not seen Strange Darling, go watch it right now.
Big Strange Darling heads on this
Yes.
couch.
Yeah, and I just rewatched it like 2 or 3 weeks ago. It's still great.
I also rewatched it maybe 2 months ago.
I haven't seen it since it was in theaters, but I do remember loving it a lot, and it was in my top 3 of last year, I think.
Yeah, so a little history with this movie is that The Long Walk, they've been trying to make a Long Walk movie for a while. In the 80s, they approached George Romero, who did the Night of the Living Dead movies. They're like, hey, you should make The Long Walk. And he said no. And so then in the mid-2000s, director Frank Darabont got the rights to the movie. He is known for directing Stephen King movies because he previously directed The Shawshank Redemption, The Green Mile, and The Mist, all of which I really like. And he was like, I'll get around to The Long Walk eventually, and then he never did. So it just kind of
didn't have the technology to film people walking for 2 hours.
Exactly. Steadicams didn't exist back then. So they just kind of waited a while, and then they were like, all right, I guess we're going to do it now. The dude who directed the Last Voyage of the Demeter signed on to do it in 2019, but that never happened. And so eventually Francis Lawrence and J.T. Molnar got involved, and the movie exists now.
It exists, and it's really good.
Yeah. I was a big fan of it. I thought that the writing and the acting were the 2 strongest parts. Since I'm getting into my opinions now, because I just kind of went on a ramble about the development history. But I really loved the acting. I really loved the writing. J.T. Molnar's a great writer, and all of the actors involved are great. Weirdly enough, I feel like the directing was the weakest part of this for me, and it's hard for me to know if they did as good as they could. Because it is literally just them walking through rural roads for an hour and 45 minutes.
There are several shots that are visually interesting, but I don't think it's perfectly done.
Yeah.
It's not winning best cinematography.
There's some shots that I love. There's a shot where the remaining characters are walking over a hill and it's nighttime, and they're like silhouetted by the headlights of like the army vehicles. And like that shot, I was like, oh, this looks really good. But a lot of it is just like over the shoulder, all the characters walking in a line. But it's like, I don't know what else they could have really done for some of this, because it's just them, they have to walk 3 miles an hour.
And there's only so many times you can do a long shot of the characters walking with some fancy background before you're like, okay, we've seen this before, let's get on with it.
Yeah. I did like when they would like kind of like leave the people in the background and kind of stick with the characters. Those shots I thought were kind of visually interesting.
And there's a lot of moments where like there's clear dialogue happening and the characters aren't even reacting anymore, so them being like, warning, number 23 or whatever.
I thought the movie was very like thematically interesting, because like you can't really tell which of the main 2 characters it's like taking the side of, and they like throughout the movie I'm like, you can't tell who the Cooper Hoffman's character is right. Oh, David Johnson's character is right, and like they're best friends, so it's not like they're fighting with each other. But, like, their ideological differences is something they're, like, hashing out throughout the movie. Absolutely. And I found that really, really compelling.
The movie just has, like, a nice dialogue going on with itself. And
yeah.
I think that was really cool.
And there's a lot of, like, political stuff in it, obviously, because it's a dystopian movie. But I feel like the movie was really more about, like, making friendships when you know they're destined to end eventually, and like why you should still do that. Or at least that's the main thing that I got out of it, and I thought it did a really good job of conveying that message, because I cared about like all of the main characters. I thought they were all super well written.
Yeah.
And I loved the dynamics between them all. I don't think there was a flat character in the main cast.
Even like the side characters as well.
More interesting.
You would feel for them.
Yeah, like
the guy with the longer hair.
There's him, like the bully character.
He's definitely the most complex of all the characters.
Yeah,
it's hard to get a read on him.
Yeah, that bully character like could have just been like a flat like Stephen King bully, but he actually like as the movie goes on, you learn more about like his like thoughts on everything, and it becomes like a lot more interesting. A lot of the like background characters that are like not in the movie for a long time are super interesting. I don't want to say which ones yet, because a big appeal of the movie is like not knowing who's going to die. But the ones who die really early on have stuff going on for them that made me be like, oh, that's a really interesting character, and then they like die.
It makes you. It gives you at least a little something to want to care about them, so that they're dying early. You still at least are like, oh man, like. There's something here, and it's not like they're just killing people that you don't care about.
And I think we're at the point where we should probably get into spoilers.
Yeah.
Before we can
Obviously, people die in this movie. I feel like that's not really a spoiler.
We all saw the trailer.
Spoilers for The Long Walk from this point on. But the two that really stick out to me as like non-important characters that had interesting stories were the first character who died, who was like an underage kid who lied about being 18, and then the one who wanted to write a book about the Long Walk.
Yes,
I thought that was a super interesting idea.
Was he the one whose foot like?
Yeah.
He's the classic Stephen King stand-in character. If you watch any Stephen King movie or read any book, he always puts himself as one of the characters, and he was definitely that because writers love to self-insert. But it was surprising that he killed himself off.
Yeah. I thought like that was very interesting. But like then the main cast, which I would say is Cooper Hoffman's character, David Johnson's character, Ben Wang's character, the handsome guy, the bully, and the one who hates the soldiers. Those are like the six. Do y'all know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, long hair guy.
The long hair, black haired guy who I think is Native American. He says a prayer at the end.
And are you talking about the
handsome?
The bully's the blonde.
The bully's the long-haired blonde. Handsome guy is the one who was the major son.
And he's coughing.
Yes.
Yeah, and then I guess there's.
Yeah, how about the other guy? Yeah.
I guess I forgot the religious guy because there's the Musketeers who are Ben Wang's character, Cooper Hoffman's character, David Johnson's character, and the religious guy, who I also think that he did a great job.
He was fantastic.
Whatever that actor was.
Let's figure out his name right now.
Yeah, he was the other one that stood out to me. It's like, oh, this guy's really good. I had never heard of him.
He deserves. Hold on, all these people deserve to be. We are talking about. Oh gosh.
Yeah, go ahead.
He's not in anything.
He's
not in anything.
Filmography.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna try to pronounce it.
I will. I'll be brave. So it's Tutnyuot. So I'm gonna call him Toot Newt.
Maybe, I'm not sure.
That seems wrong.
Well, like
I don't know.
With that, he did a fantastic job.
He was wonderful.
We'll look up how to pronounce his name before the next movie.
We'll put a robot voice saying it over top.
Yeah, this is like the first big thing he's been in. I think.
Yes, he's been.
I've never heard of these other ones.
No, yeah.
Based on Letterboxd, he could have been in the TV show, but he did. I thought he was just as good as Cooper Hoffman and David
great.
Johnson for me. Those were the three that I was like,
I'm actually very shocked to look at this and see that he doesn't even have like a Wikipedia
and he was in most of the movie. Like he was in the final 5 or 6 characters.
He was keeping up in terms of performance, if not like doing better than the other two at certain points in the movie.
Yeah. So the title card that we were referencing earlier, I loved that because it feels like it's pretty far into the movie.
It was.
And
they're already at like mile 15 or something.
It's when the first character gets killed, who is that younger kid.
It was at least 20 minutes in.
Yeah. And like I just like forgot that they hadn't said the title yet, but like that's where it's like, oh, people die in this. Because, like, people die from the trailer, but up until that point, they're like, oh, this is when you get your ticket. So, like, you could hypothetically not know that they're going to kill people.
And for some reason, my brain was like PG-13.
Me too.
I didn't think they were going to linger on like, his jaw hanging off.
Oh, it was bloody.
Like, it was a very gruesome movie.
Even though I knew that people were dying, what you said about the ticket, my brain tricked me. I was like, did they not kill them? I was like, part of me was like, ticket. Like, what ticket? I was like, I thought they shoot them. Like, I was like, what ticket? I was like, I don't know what they're talking about. And part of me in the brain, I guess that makes it feel like part of my brain was kind of just like, I don't know, like maybe they don't, and that first guy gets shot, and it's like, oh shit, like this is real.
There's a guy who gets his legs like taken off when he gets run over by a tank.
That was insane.
There's multiple shots of people pooping everywhere.
Yes.
There's like a pretty chunky scene about a guy having like explosive diarrhea all over the floor,
and it kills him.
The diarrhea he poops himself to death. What is this? The Oregon Trail? But there, like Ben Wang's character has a pretty bloody death where he like, I think gets himself shot or like forces a gun into his stomach or something so that he gets shot.
And they explain like moments after that, like, oh, they're just going to let him bleed out so that everyone else knows not to do that.
Of all the scenes in the movie, or the deaths, that was the one that was like the most emotionally effective on me. Absolutely. Because of the religious character, like running. He calls out that character's name, and he runs over and like doesn't want Ben Wang to die alone.
What's his name? Was he Baker? Yeah, he was Baker.
Yeah, Baker. Baker runs over to Ben Wang's character, and then Cooper Hoffman runs over and has like pull him off. And there's this really good shot that I think one of y'all referenced earlier, where like they're like walking away and out of focus in the background. You see Ben Wang laying in the headlights like dying.
They do that a lot.
But that was the one where I was like, oh, I'm like really feeling this right now.
I cried several times.
I'll be honest, I did not cry.
I didn't
cry. I'm not a big movie crier.
I am a big movie crier. If you get me to care even a little bit about characters, I will become attached. And so the fact that so many great characters are in this movie and you know only one of them's making it out, it's rough for a guy like me.
Yeah. There maybe for like the second quarter of the movie, it was just a lot of killing off like characters who weren't super important, because they start off killing off that kid who seems like he's going to be an important character, and then it's like, all right, let's kill the Davis characters for a little while, and then they get back to killing the important characters.
But it still was never boring.
I wasn't bored.
No.
Because that was when they were building the relationships and like setting up the mystery.
So the first night, I think, is when the most deaths happen, because they're like going uphill and like people are falling asleep.
Was that the first night?
Yeah. I thought that scene was fantastic.
Yes,
because it's something I didn't even consider.
They killed probably 15 people in this one go.
And like I don't know,
you don't know who survives at the end except for I believe his name's Steve and Peter and who's Cooper Hoffman's character's name?
I don't know. I'm just calling him the actor's name.
Ray. His name is Ray. Ray and Peter. And so, like, you don't know if the other Musketeers are alive until, like, a few minutes afterwards. It's a very tense scene. It was awesome.
And, like, I don't know how much of the movie was in the book, but, like, they really take this concept of, like, you have to walk 3 miles an hour and, like, push it to its limit. Because I would not
in the book it was 4 miles an hour.
I've got a lot of book changes that I'm going to get to in a little bit.
Which is ridiculous, by the way.
So, like, the hill scene, I was like, I did not even consider that, like, you would have to walk a lot harder to go 3 miles an hour up a hill. There's, like, a part where a character's shoe falls off. Like, the whole, like, aspect of how do people poop when they're doing the long walk. The water thing and, like, getting your canteen refilled and eating. Like, there's a scene where Ben Wang's character, like, drops his food and he's like, oh, I just, like, can't eat now unless somebody donates me some food.
Oh, he was also said he was, like, allergic to something?
They said that I think they have, like, these, like, there's these tubes that they eat out of, but he also mentions tofu, which I don't know if we see them eat tofu unless that's what's in, like, one of the tubes. They don't really explain how the food works, but
he was, like, allergic to half of the food, and so he dropped the food that he could eat.
Yeah,
so he, like,
and so
wasn't
Cooper
gonna have
Hoffman
food.
gave him some of that. But I thought they really like took the concept and expanded upon it as much as they could.
Yeah.
Because it's just people walking through one state. But like I was like they keep building.
Do we know what state it takes place in?
I was wondering that too.
My guess was like one of like the more Midwestern states, like Kansas or maybe like rural Illinois.
Because they talk about like how there's like no cities here. It's just like cornfields or whatever.
We know Ray is like the home state guy.
Yeah,
like, he's the one who's from the area.
He has an accent.
Yeah, the Wikipedia page doesn't specify. Maybe it's just like
it could be
like a Missouri type of deal.
It doesn't. The Wikipedia page for the book and the movie don't specify.
One of the guys mentions Sioux Falls.
In the movie,
no, it's not one of the Dakotas, whichever Dakota Sioux Falls is.
In the book, Ray is from Maine, but that doesn't look like Maine. So I don't know.
No, that doesn't.
It does not look like Maine, but it could be Maine. Stephen King does.
He does like his Maine.
In Maine.
Yeah. So, but like, I was never bored. I think a really smart thing this movie did is that it set up a lot of like character mysteries. The two specifically were like, what is Cooper Hoffman's wish, and how did David Johnson like get his scars? Which is something that they hold on to for a while. But like, it's a compelling mystery to where it's like, not only do I know this movie is going to tell me who wins, but it's also going to resolve these mysteries. And so it had like enough storylines that like kept me really compelled.
So what did we think about who won?
What did y'all like?
Okay, I guess if we're just gonna like straight up say it was David Johnson's character who wins, Peter, and I feel like by the end it had to be him.
It's not what I expected. I'll be honest.
You get to a certain point in the third act where you're like it has to be Peter, because like again him and Cooper Hoffman are like constantly like having this conversation about like, is what Cooper Hoffman wants right, is what David Johnson wants right. And they're constantly at odds. And so Cooper Hoffman being like, you see it, I don't, this is you. Like, I thought that kind of solidifies like the message of the movie. It's like, it's about the moments, which was his whole ideology, that like every moment matters.
I thought that David Johnson's character was, I mean, obviously he tried to, but I thought that he was going to sacrifice himself for
Cooper
Hoffman's character. The names are getting to me.
You better keep those names in mind. They're gonna be superstars.
I am like very I'm very satisfied with the ending. I loved it. I thought it was great. But I do think that like for a while like it was kind of a back and forth of like, man, like do you really don't know who's going to win.
Especially they do the double fake out.
They do the double fake out at the end, and it's like you really don't know.
Yeah. I was worried when it ended up just being the two of them, because I was like, I feel like this is the obvious solution. But the fact that they had like Peter and Garrity like swap like ideologies, so Garrity cared more about the friendship, and Peter like did Garrity's wish,
which was to get a gun and kill the Major.
Kill the Major.
AKA Mark Hamill.
I thought that was like a very, very smart ending that kind of kept both themes true of like, because like Peter is all about like remember the small moments, live in the moments. He has a there's a scene that like in my head I think of as the vengeance isn't enough scene, where the two of them are like talking about like how they see a family on the side of the road, and Garrity's like they just want us to watch, this world is so messed up.
He calls them pigs, even though it's like mom and her two little daughters.
Yeah, and Peter's like the vengeance and the battle isn't worth it if you can't like appreciate family and appreciate those things. And so by the end of the movie, they kind of like fulfill the other one's wishes, which I thought is really interesting. What's very interesting is that this ending is completely different from the book ending.
Wow. Is it?
So this movie has a lot of changes from the book, which
I just want to say one more thing. So when Cooper Hoffman like sees his mom in his hometown, and he like has to get dragged away by
scene.
David Johnson. I'm about to make a joke that's probably out of taste, but to get him like out of the mindset, he's like, you know how I got these scars? Which made me think of the Joker, who Mark Hamill voices in Batman the Animated Series. Okay, so that's it.
That also is part of the changes. So the big change in the movie is the ending. So in the movie, like we said, Peter wins. In the book, Peter sits down like he says he's going to and actually is killed. This is before the son of the Major is killed in the book. So the final two are that character and Garrity, Cooper Hoffman's character. And so Garrity ends up winning because the son of the Major dies. But throughout the end of the book, Garrity starts having visions of this like shadowy figure who's walking like really far ahead of him. So when he's the last one standing, the Major comes out and is like, "Congratulations, son, you've won." But Garrity is like crazed because of like the effects of the long walk, and he's like, "There's still someone ahead of me," and he just keeps walking into the distance, and the book ends. So he doesn't actually get the money or get his wish because like he is another like lost soul of the long walk. So the movie completely changed that, and I thought that was very interesting.
It does end with Peter still walking away, but it's more like he's walking towards an empty street. There's no military vehicles.
I had assumed they had shot him.
He's walking towards freedom to an extent, but you have to assume that, he kills the Major. He's probably going to die. It is kind of shocking that he wasn't shot right away, which makes me think maybe it was the intention that, like, he is dead.
Yeah,
and,
I think he definitely
him walking
was.
away is, like, him going to the afterlife, because Stephen King's insane and also did a lot of coke.
Yeah. And earlier in the film, Peter talks about how, like, he was born walking because both of his parents were killed in the war. So he's like, "I've been walking all my life."
Yeah.
So I thought that was, like, a really good ending for that.
He keeps walking.
Yeah, he keeps walking. Also, before we get into the other changes, do you think Peter is gay? I'm sorry, I burped in the middle of that and it made it seem like I didn't. No, I'm not homophobic. But so do you think Peter is gay? Because it seemed like the movie was implying that at several points.
I didn't get that.
You didn't get that?
No. As a gay person.
I think Charlie Plum's character was implying that he was gay.
Well, I thought there were several moments in the film because that kept happening. So I was like, maybe this bully character has knowledge of him.
There's think like it really is about like how you can become such good friends with someone that they are your family. Yeah, because like he keeps calling Cooper Hoffman his brother towards the end of the movie.
Well, it wasn't that. It was those comments. I was like, does this bully character know something about Peter? Comment? Yes, the girlfriend. So there's a point where Peter asks Garrity if he has a girlfriend. Garrity's like, yes, and then Garrity's like, "Peter, do you have a girlfriend?" And then it feels like there's this like long beat.
There's a weird beat
where he's like, "No, I don't have a girlfriend," and that's when I was like, is he gay?
So I'll be honest,
and it's not just because he looks at a rainbow and is like, "Look how pretty that is."
No, and I'll be honest, like me and Maya looked at each other after that and we're like,
yeah, it seems like he's being.
I don't think so.
And Stephen King also has a track record of like having like secretly or like characters that are revealed very late in the story to be gay, like in It. That's the thing that happens there. It has several gay characters in it actually.
I just think that is something that like. I don't think it was. I don't think it was like established well enough to like say that is like a thing.
I think it is. Like, it is one of those little character mysteries that you're never gonna get to know.
Yeah, that was another thing that like kept me hooked on this character. I was like, this is a very deep character that I'm interested in knowing more about.
I did wonder like if it was going to be revealed, but like now that the movie's over, I'm like, I don't think he is. You know?
Other changes. You were talking about him hugging talking to his mom when they got to his hometown. So his mom is in the book, but that character, mom in the movie, is substituting Garrity's girlfriend. Oh. So in the book, Garrity's girlfriend is the main motivation for him to win the long walk, and she's the one who he sees when he goes through his hometown. In the movie, he's like, "I broke up with my girlfriend before the long walk," and they make it his mom. So that is a big change. I'm looking through this Screen Rant article. The Major doesn't die in the book because that ending doesn't happen where Peter shoots him. I'm trying to. There is another character in the book, who his main deal is that he has the wife. So they cut him.
Not Ben Wang.
Yes, they cut that character from the movie and gave that trait to Ben Wang and the really athletic traits to the son of the Major. So that was his other. He was athletic and had a wife, and they split that up between those two characters.
Okay.
In the book, in the movie, they have this point where he's like, "We should have a vow that we're not going to help each other anymore," and that doesn't really do anything or like pay off in any big way.
No, because they are immediately helping Baker.
Yeah.
Right afterwards.
In the book, that happens a bit earlier, and it has like more of an impact. Several characters die, and the book makes it really clear, like, like they could have saved these people and they didn't. Also, I have not read the book. These are just like I've looked this up. There was another big one that I'm trying to think of. Maybe I'm crazy. Another thing is that there's a lot more characters in the book because there are 100 walkers at the start.
Oh, wow.
Which I don't think
That
there's
would have
that
been
many.
too much.
There's
for me.
50.
It was 50.
There's 50. Okay, yeah.
One from each state.
One from each state. Yeah, that's right. So it's 100 walkers in the
Two
book.
from each state.
A lot more of them have names, but they're
That's
not
very
all
important.
important. There's apparently points in the book where it's just like, since the last time you saw these characters, these like 8 characters died or whatever. So they cut that down. They also, as Ben said earlier, made the walking speed shorter. Used to be 4 miles an hour in the book. Now it's 3 miles an hour in the movie because that's more.
Because they
realistic.
realized that's insane. Like,
Yeah.
It's genuinely
Out of
insane.
curiosity, are the lengths that they walked similar? Do you?
I'm not sure.
So where did they end up? Like 327 miles by the end of it?
And it was like
or
5.5
something
days or something.
Yeah.
like that? I'm sure that's accurate.
I can do that.
Because you could
Yeah.
just 3 miles per hour times however many
Yeah.
hours.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you're right. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Someone do the math on that out there and comment and let
Someone
us
with
know.
a calculator, not us. I'm bad at that.
But yeah, so like it has some pretty major changes to the book, which I thought was
Some
interesting.
Major changes.
We'll be right back. I want to read the book and see if it's like got those like smaller character moments or like the thematic stuff.
My dad read the book. We should have had him on the podcast.
We should have had him on the podcast.
Resident Stephen King fan, my dad.
Yeah, because it is the first like Stephen King book, so I want to know how complex it is.
This is the first Stephen King book?
Well, not the
Yeah,
first
the first
published,
one
the
he
first
wrote.
one he wrote.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's the first one he wrote in the 60s. But so what I want to know is like because I could see this being like a very straightforward story because in the 60s like these dystopian teen stories like weren't like that popular.
Yeah.
Like this movie helped establish a lot of that stuff from what I understand that like the Hunger Games and Divergent
Yeah,
and
like
all
the
those.
two people from each say like
Yeah.
very.
Oh,
very
I definitely
clearly
saw a lot of
translates.
Hunger Games in this.
Well,
Well,
that could
I
be
mean, it was
because of the
directed.
director, but also
Well, yes, but you know.
you gotta think of the source material
Yeah.
as well.
So I thought, but yeah, like that's most of the big changes from what I understand.
Well, what deaths do you guys think were the most impactful?
Like I said earlier, for me, it was Ben Wang's death.
Ben Wang's.
His character's name's Olsen. I think.
I mean, Baker's was rough too.
Yeah.
I think Baker's was the most impactful, and of the minor ones, I think it was Rank, the nerdy kid.
Yes,
the
that-
bully, like pretty much like goads into getting himself killed,
And
which I think sets up the bully fantastically for later in the movie.
Yeah, of the Walkers, he's kind of like the main antagonist. But like much later, you kind of see the impact that death has had on him.
And so you're still sympathetic for him.
Yeah.
I also thought that the guy that tried to run away was very interesting. The guy that tried to like run into the
In
building.
the grocery store, yeah.
I don't know, like that was interesting to me.
That was
There
just
were
like a
several
really small
characters that
moment.
tried
Yeah.
to run, and you see they all like immediately get gunned down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a character who has like a speaker in one scene, and then later he like walks to the front and just like takes his clothes off and like gets killed
Yeah,
for
he
like
just
running away.
runs for it.
Yeah.
It's wild.
So like I thought like that like the side characters are all really interesting and they do a lot with them.
A couple of characters run for like go grab a gun. For Olsen, it doesn't work out.
Yeah.
He immediately gets shot. But for I don't remember his name.
One of them kills one of the guards.
But he's
right?
able
Yeah.
to kill one of the guards before he gets shot in the stomach, and then he sits there and he turns the gun on himself because he doesn't want to like give the military like the pleasure of killing him. Same with the bully who just stabs himself in the neck with a spoon.
Yeah.
Spoon.
I really liked the whole like I guess his redemption scene where he like puts his armor on Cooper Hoffman.
I thought he was gonna
'Cause-
drag him down.
Yeah, I like because
Yeah.
it's like, oh, what is
It
this guy
was
meant to do?
tense. But like you do see like these are all just kids in that moment because
Yeah.
he's like he didn't ask me if I wanted to help out. I would have said yes. Why didn't he ask me? And then Peter's like, hey, what are you talking? Like, hey, are you okay? He's like, what the did you just say to me? And,
Yeah.
like he's such an interesting character.
And that was one scene that I think exemplifies one of my bigger problems with the movie. Is that I like the music, but I feel like at some points it's really like
The music was a
overbearing.
giveaway for for what was about to happen to
Yeah,
him.
because they start playing this like they have it like be quiet for a while. I'm like really tense and into it, and then this like music comes in not really motivated. That like sounds tense at first and then becomes like a sweet thing, and it's like I didn't need that. I was already feeling the tension, and that kind of reminded me that I'm watching a movie. And there were several scenes in the movie. It wasn't like terrible. But there were just a few times where I was like, I don't think you needed music like that, like heartstring pulling-y. Like you could have just like left us with the acting, and the acting was strong enough to convey.
I feel
the
like
tone
if you
that
take
people wanted.
away the soundtrack, and I rarely like say this because I think music is very important to many movies, but this movie would still speak for itself and probably
Yeah.
speak better for itself.
I agree. But yeah, so are we ready to give our ratings for the
I'd
long
say so.
walk?
All right.
Ben, what did you give the long walk?
I give it a 10 out of 10. I loved it a lot. It currently stands number 4 on my yearly ranking. It is phenomenal, and you should go watch it.
I gave it an 8 out of 10. I really, really liked it. I know that doesn't seem... I'm kind of harsh. It is my number 3 movie of the year right now, even though it is 8 out of 10. David Johnson. That's all I have to say.
David Johnson.
David Johnson.
I'm also giving The Long Walk an 8 out of 10. I really, really like the writing and performances, but the music issues and the directing and lack of shot choice, I guess, kind of made it hurt it a little bit. But overall, I really, really enjoyed it. It's my second favorite Stephen King movie of the year after The Life of Chuck.
A great study in character. If
Yes.
you want to learn how to make interesting characters, watch this movie, because even the smallest little characters are so fascinating.
Mm-hmm. That's just watch any Stephen King movie, because he does that so well in all of his movies.
He does.
The Mist is a great example. I love The Mist. It's really underrated. But this is one of the best Stephen King movies in my opinion. It's up there in probably my top 5.
Maybe we'll talk about The Mist one day.
Maybe we
And
will
the
talk about The
monkey.
Mist one day. And I'm not a big monkey
The
fan.
monkey had
I liked the monkey.
I don't think the monkey was
guys.
as interesting.
I
but
liked
it was,
the monkey.
It was still a fun movie.
This isn't our last Stephen King movie of the year, though, because The Running Man comes out in a few months.
Running Man, Edgar Wright.
Edgar Wright is directing another adaptation of The Running Man, so that's exciting.
Should we talk about next week?
Yes. So it is my recommendation. So next week we're going to be talking about Him, which is the new football horror movie produced by Jordan Peele. And alongside
Football
him,
horror movie. What are we watching? The Jets?
hey, sports
Hey!
jokes. So alongside him, I'm recommending the 2013 Spike Jonze movie Her, starring Joaquin Phoenix as a man who falls in love with his phone.
Him and her.
So
Her.
next week, before next week, make sure to watch Him and Her. And
We also might have a special guest next week, but we
Yeah.
also might not have a
That's
special
right.
guest next week.
We're having pronoun
We'll
week.
figure it out.
me and Haylie have to go out of town for a job, so we're trying to figure out how we're going to do the podcast, but we'll figure it out. So Him and Her next week.
Get ready for pronoun week, and we'll see y'all then.
See you next time.